The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The webinar will begin shortly. Please remain on the line. The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
At ActiveAI, we provide a conversational AI platform which enables banks to have conversations with their customers.
Financial services accelerate their digital experience. What I mean by that is customers are moving towards a new way of engaging with the banks, and banks needs to be where the customers are. So just to give you an example, I should be able to talk to my bank using WhatsApp and or any engagement channel as voice or bots. To facilitate that, the underlying platform is what ActiveAI built and service the customers.
The whole premise of ActiveAI is conversations, and the only way to perform conversations at scale is to automate them, and that's where we introduce AI. It deconstructs the conversation and then helps us to kind of fulfill that conversation by integrating to the bank's backend services. So a lot of banks globally use our platform on their private clouds. So we have a couple of deployments on private clouds and public clouds. So IndusInd Bank, for example, in India, runs our platform on the AWS private cloud. And it has been an amazing experience from them from a ROI perspective in terms of the cost savings they have achieved compared to their physical data centers. And also the scale at which we're able to deploy new solutions for the bank.
In one of the banks, we do about 1 million interactions a month. That's on averaging about 60 to 80,000 interactions. And no call center can handle that. To enable banks to have secure, safe transaction on an unstructured data and to be able to scale as the bank scale, we would have to move to a cloud environment. And we have been AWS cloud environment from day one.
See, being a cloud-first company was a no-brainer. I think managing physical infra is a very challenging task. And the second thing is about AWS is the manageability of AWS. This is only one thing which stands out from a developer is what is the friction in a path to get the job done. We believe AWS is the most frictionless cloud platform we have worked with. At ActiveAI, our vision is to provide a seamless conversational experience for customers on digital platforms. So using AWS, it has allowed us to focus on providing a wonderful experience which is secure, seamless, and scalable. AWS has a huge suite of compliance which is pre-approved, pre-certified, and that has helped the bank switch to a cloud platform faster. So purely from a security perspective, which is one of the biggest tick boxes for a banking solution to be on the cloud, AWS has checked all of them.
So ActiveAI and AWS collaboration has been amazing in the last 4 years. We have built some amazing products around AWS. Most importantly, the customer engagement. In one word, I would call this relationship amazing.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the ASEAN Online Workshop Series, Machine Learning Edition. Thank you for taking time to join us today. Before we begin, a couple of housekeeping announcements. If you encounter any issues along the way or have questions with regards to the presentation content, feel free to drop us a question on the GoToWebinar control panel in your browser. Our team is online to support your learning inquiries. So this is the agenda for the workshop this morning. Our speakers will be addressing questions throughout the presentation, so feel free to pop your questions at any time during the session. Today, this session will be on the applications of machine learning in industries, and Abhinav Gupta, our Senior Partner Development Manager, will be starting off the session before we introduce our guest speakers that you see on screen. So let's get started. I would like to invite Abhinav to kick off the session for us today. Abhinav, over to you, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. My name is Abhinav Gupta, and I drive strategy and engagement with partners in analytics and machine learning here at Amazon Web Services. And my goal is help our customers innovate and drive business outcomes by leveraging our partner ecosystem. Today, we have an interesting agenda lined up for you, where I'll start by sharing how customers are innovating by leveraging AWS machine learning services and how does our AWS ML services stacks looks like. Also, we have 3 AWS partners supported by their customers from ASEAN who will join us to share how they're driving business outcomes by leveraging AWS applied AI services. With that, let's understand what is the opportunity we have in front of us today. Practitioners in analytics and data science have been talking about unlocking value from data to drive insights that can be used to fuel innovation and move their business forward. But why now? Why there is an urgency? Well, according to me, there are a few reasons why this is so important now. First, our customers are generating more data than ever. Analysts say that in every hour today, we are creating more data than what we did in an entire year, 20 years ago. In fact, in the next 3 years, there will be more data created than in the prior 30 years combined. Second, not only are customers consuming large volumes of data to support their businesses, but they're also trying to find insights from different types of data, such as log files, clickstream data, voice, and video. This data is coming from new sources. It is increasingly diverse, and there is a need for the data to be securely accessed and analyzed by various applications and different personas. And finally, our customers are increasingly viewing data analytics and machine learning as a strategic and core function to the business. Gartner states the #1 technology area where CIOs are increasing investment in business is business intelligence or data analytics solution. And Gartner forecasts that AI-derived business values are projected to reach $3.9 trillion by 2020. Organizations want to become data-driven. And by that, I mean treating data as an organizational asset. You're no longer keeping it in silos or treating it as the property of individual departments. And processes are set up to collect and store valuable data. For example, a customer service database can be combined with an order database to better understand operational issues. Second, democratizing your data, meaning it is easily available and securely available to anyone that needs it. And finally, putting your data to work by using analytics and machine learning to make better decisions, create efficiencies, and drive new innovations. And companies like Nike enables more than 17,000 internal data scientists, analysts, marketing teams, and business leaders to make informed, data-driven decisions with its AWS data lake, which will better support Nike's AI-first strategy. This includes initiatives such as better product recommendations for its e-commerce website. With AWS, Formula One has been able to turn millions of data points transmitted from cars into an engaging fan experience through its F1 Insights. And recently, F1 applied machine learning to their car design processes, giving them new insights into more than 550 million data points collected through more than 5,000 single and multi-car simulations. And in manufacturing, Invista, which makes chemicals, polymers, or fabrics that are used in products like carpets, migrated from siloed data strategy to a data lake on AWS and applied machine learning in order to improve process controls, ensure data access for the right people at the right time, and automate processes like visual inspections and equipment monitoring. And we see this across our customers who are looking to drive innovation by using machine learning. Data is a means to an end. And once you have data in a modern infrastructure and you have broken down data silos, you can then begin to apply machine learning to help solve your most pressing business challenges or create new opportunities. So let's step back first and look at the terminologies and the jargons that we have been hearing a lot of these days. Most of you are aware of these, but as a refresher, what is AI intelligence or artificial intelligence? It's a way to describe any system or computer that can replicate tasks that previously required human intelligence. Machine learning is a subset of AI which uses large amounts of data to create and validate decision logic, which we typically call it a model. The AI application then feeds input data into this model, and then the model outputs human-like decisions. So machine learning is the underlying technology that is powering intelligent systems. And then we have been hearing a lot about deep learning, which is a type of machine learning that uses a technique known as deep neural networks. These systems replicate how the human brain functions. And this lets AI systems address more complex use cases that was not previously possible. For example, speech or image recognition. And we are noticing that machine learning went from being an aspirational technology to mainstream extremely fast. For a long time, the technology was limited to a few major tech companies and the hardcore academic researchers. But things really began to change when cloud computing entered into the mainstream. Why? Because compute power and data became more available. And quite literally, machine learning is now making an impact across every industry, whether you talk about finance, retail, healthcare, etc. It's moving from the peripheral to now a core part of every business and industry. And as you can see, the overall spending on AI technologies are growing exponentially as well. And at AWS, we are seeing a tipping point where AI/ML are addressing use cases that create measurable results for our customers, ranging from customer experience, which is being transformed via capabilities such as conversational interfaces, smart biometric authentication and personalization and recommendations. Business operations are being improved with sophisticated demand planning and forecasting models. For example, in retail, AI-based demand forecasting reduced errors by 30 to 50%, with lost sales due to product unavailability reduced by up to 65%. Machine learning is helping companies make better decisions, better and faster decisions. In healthcare, we are seeing a shift from reactive to proactive care, including the use of predictive models to accelerate research and discovery of new drugs and treatments regimen, which we recently saw what Moderna did with COVID-19 vaccine as well. Nurses are supported by AI tools that can increase productivity by up to 50%. And it's helping companies create new products, services, and business models to innovate and gain competitive advantage. And we have customers on AWS who are doing this across a variety of industry verticals. And to illustrate that, I have a few examples I want to talk about. Intuit, for example, in customer experience, they have built forecasting capabilities to predict call center demand on a particular day or time to make sure they're adequately staffed from a customer service point of view. Convoy, which is a Seattle-based logistics company, is building the entire company and value proposition at the back of the use of machine learning. The company is disrupting what we have the inefficient trucking model by providing better matching capabilities for shippers and truckers. And at the end of the day, allowing them to move freight more efficiently and thus lowering costs for both parties. In healthcare, Cerner, which is an American supplier of health information technology solutions, services, devices, and hardware, is tapping into AWS' deep portfolio of machine learning and AI services. They've already developed a model that predicts congestive heart failure up to 15 months before clinical manifestation. Pairing this with Precip tool with real-time integration into individual health records can support providers' decision-making in real time, which can have a great impact in saving human lives. And in sports, we have been working with NFL to create next-gen stats to engage fans by combining old and new data to reveal insights about game dynamics for both fans and players. But even with the increasing adoption of machine learning and much hype associated with the technology, it is still in the infancy stage. We are just scratching the surface of the impact that machine learning can have across industries and geographies. And at Amazon, machine learning is an integral part. We have been applying machine learning in areas such as personalization and supply chain for more than 20 years. We have improved our original personalization model significantly over time and moved it to other products such as Amazon Prime. We use machine learning throughout the fulfillment process, including developing a forecast system that can predict the appropriate amount of demand for each product that we sell worldwide in order to deliver on our customer expectations on convenience, cost, and delivery speeds. We have developed natural language processing technology to consumers, an entirely new way to interact with technology through Alexa. We have also developed groundbreaking technology and with autonomous flight air prime drones and using robotics in our fulfillment center to get packages to consumers faster. More than 100,000 customers use AWS for machine learning, from the largest enterprise through to the hottest startups. Companies are working with us to build solutions that are core to their businesses. For all the progress we have made in machine learning, there are still real challenges to getting machine learning off the ground. And we at AWS can help our customers. First, machine learning relies on a foundation of compute and storage. And ML's gigantic storage and compute needs are most effectively addressed in the cloud. And AWS is the undisputed leader in the cloud and provides the best storage and compute capabilities. According to McKinsey 2019 Global AI Survey, 65% from the high performance report having a clear data strategy that supports and enables AI, compared with 20% from other companies. Machine learning requires data, and most of the data is on AWS. Data has gravity, and we believe that gravity makes AWS well suited to provide ML services. According to Gartner's 2019 CIO Agenda survey, skill of staff is rated the #1 blocker to AI adoption, with 56% of people citing it as a blocker. AWS provides ready-made intelligence, no ML expertise required with our AI services. And not only we provide trainings, but we have a number of AWS partners who have helped our customers in driving business outcomes. And today you will hear from 3 partners with their customer stories later in the session. ML is new, and there are well-worn paths to success. Amazon has been investing in and using machine learning for the last 20 years in its products, whether it's recommendations, personalizations, Alexa, and has some of the most sophisticated ML deployments in production. We are able to harness the accumulated knowledge of deploying ML to build ML services for our customers. Moreover, Amazon's internal ML users also use our services for their needs, which provides us a quick, high-quality feedback loop. And we helped more than 100,000 customers achieve ML success. ML is a complex and can be resource intensive. SageMaker, our end-to-end service for machine learning, increases data science team productivity by 10 times by making it easier and faster to build, train, and deploy machine learning models at scale. And finally, machine learning has to be tied to business objectives to be successful. And we have use case and industry-specific solutions built to solve common business problems end-to-end. And to support our customers who are new to ML or to our customers who are advanced users of ML to achieve specific business outcomes, we provide the broadest and the most complete set of machine learning and artificial intelligence services. So let's take a quick look at AWS machine learning stack. If we start from the bottom layer of the ML stack, we provide capabilities for expert machine learning practitioners, including optimized versions of the most popular deep learning frameworks, whether it's PyTorch, MXNet, and TensorFlow. And we provide the broadest and the deepest of ML infrastructure services with a choice of processors and accelerators to meet your unique performance and budget needs. At the middle layer, we have Amazon SageMaker, which allows developers and data scientists to build, train, and deploy machine learning models at scale. SageMaker includes a broad set of capabilities, many of which are both novel and unique to AWS. And these services are available through an integrated development environment for machine learning, or IDE, which we call it SageMaker Studio. Organizations are standardizing on SageMaker to remove the complexity from each step of the machine learning workflow so that it's faster, more cost-effective, and easier to do a variety of use cases. Anything from predictive maintenance to computer vision to predicting customer behaviors. And finally, at the top of the stack or layer is our AI services, which allows developers to easily add intelligence to any application without needing ML skills. The pre-trained models provide ready-made intelligence for your applications and workflows to help you do things like personalize the customer experience, forecast business metrics, translate conversations, extract meanings from documents, and many more. AWS has a broad spectrum of services to address your business's AI goals. And we have applied Amazon's more than 20 years of experience in machine learning to deliver these services to our customers. And as you can see, we are innovating at a rapid pace to meet the needs of our customers. Just 4 years ago at re:Invent 2016, we launched our first AI services, Poly, Lex, and Ignition. Since then, we have launched hundreds of features, including Amazon SageMaker and 17 new AI services. Last year alone, we launched more than 250 features, and we have delivered over 200 features each year for the past 3 years. That's a really big thing or a big deal for a new area of technology, which is moving so rapidly. As you can see, we are building the most comprehensive set of machine learning products so that we can give our customers the right tools to invent with machine learning that is necessary to unlock the power of this technology. Today, machine learning has reached a turning point. Until recently, as I mentioned, it was only accessible to the big tech firms and sometimes even to cool startups that had the resources needed to hire experts to build sophisticated models. And with AWS pre-trained AI services, which provides ready-made intelligence for applications and workflows, AI services easily integrate with applications to address common use cases, such as personalized recommendations, modernizing your contact center, improving safety and security, and increasing customer engagement. Because we use the same deep learning technology that powers Amazon.com and our ML services, you get quality and accuracy from continuously learning APIs. And best of all, AI services on AWS don't require much machine learning experience. And it can be applied to many different common challenges across various business functions and across a variety of industries. From enhancing customer experience to improving the productivity of technical teams. These machine learning use cases help optimize tasks that are complex, expensive, and require human overhead. We at AWS allows easy to use AI services to tackle these common use cases. No prior machine learning experience required. And for organizations that want to run their ML workflows in the cloud and use their own machine learning models and algorithms, there is Amazon SageMaker, a fully managed service that helps data scientists and machine learning developers and builders to build and train and deploy machine learning models quickly. And also across a variety of industry verticals, because organizations are often looking at problems through the lens of their industry. While we see machine learning happening everywhere, there are some specific industries which are seeing machine learning having a very meaningful impact, whether it's e-commerce, healthcare, or large enterprises in telco and banking. With that, I would like to move on to the next part of our session, where we'll have AWS partners to come and share use cases they have worked in driving outcomes for their customers. So to begin with, the first use case that I want to share is how organizations across industries, including financial services, are processing large volumes of documents to glean insights and take corrective action. And for that example, I would like to take FINRA, which is a not-for-profit organization authorized by Congress to protect America's investors by making sure the broker-dealer industry operates fairly and honestly. So FINRA receives millions of documents with unstructured data to support investigative, examination, and compliance processes. Previously, investigators and examiners had to manually go through documents page by page to find what they needed. Now FINRA uses Amazon Comprehend to quickly extract names of individuals and organizations and match extracted entities to FINRA records, flag individuals of interest, generate summaries, and detect similarities with other documents. This exponentially increases the scope of investigations while shortening the time to conclusion. And to illustrate this, I would like to invite Cleverster Teo from eCloud Valley, an AWS premier consulting partner. Cleverster is a chief solutions architect at eCloud Valley and will share a customer story on how they're using Amazon SageMaker and Amazon Comprehend to support their analyst team in analyzing documents and identifying sentiments to support investment decisions. Over to you, Cleverster.
Hello, good day. Hi, thanks Abhinav for introduction. Yep. So my name is Cleverster, and this about 30 minutes time, I'm going to walk through with you on our successful use cases by applying the investment through the NLP, natural language processing analysis using the unstructured data. Let's take a look of agendas of today. So on these about 20 to 30 minutes time, right, I'm going to talk with you about the challenges and current trend of market by using the AI ML. And then I'm going to touch a bit on why we need to use the external data to gain the insight and enrich your existing data sets from your organizations. And I'm going to do some introduction on how and where we can leverage on the services like NLP, right, to use it on AWS and do a lot of these other analysis with your current existing data and also your external data. Last but not least, I'm going to do some introductions on our successful use cases and also some of our new program that can work with you on your AI/ML journeys. Yeah. In the end of the section, I'm going to take the Q&A as well. Okay, so a little bit background about myself. My name is Sylvester Teo. So I'm based in Singapore, and I'm a chief of solution architect for data and analytics team from Ecor Valley. Ecor Valley is a premier consulting partner of AWS. So in total, I have about 9 years of hands-on technical experience, and I have about 3 to 4 years time on consulting the experience, provide of early consultation, and also do the proposal of this architecture, the 2B architecture as well. And together with me, right, I have a special guest from one of the top investment management firms in Asia, which he will actually work with me on our Q&A sections later. Yeah. So on the challenge and current trend that market and organizations facing today, right? They said that about 92% of the data analytics from the data scientists, right, mentioning they actually increase the use of the external data sources to enrich their existing data set, and 54% of the company plan to start to do with it and actually make an investment on all those external data set. And yeah, on top of it, right, the industry is not limited to a certain industry. It actually came from various industry, for example, financial services, logistics, technology, and etc. So it's actually help you to increase the overall efficiency and revenue. You can gain actually some actionable insight from those external data sets. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about on why and how you can leverage on the external data set and what kind of value that it can bring it to you. So external data set, right? For example, the data set you get from public, weather, this sort of different traffic condition, this sort of external data set, it can bring you the bigger picture for you to understand your customer buying behavior, purchase behavior, and on top of it, a lot of typical and traditional company thought that all this will be very costly, extremely costly to access of it. But with the increasing of the data science and increasing of the data provider, so right now with all this accessing of external data sets is actually not very costly as well, and architecture can actually handle with a big amount of all those data sets. Yeah. So the third point is, like what I have mentioned just now, the tools and technologies today, right, make accessing external data sets is extremely easier, and it can also give you the up to real time minute by minute this sort of update. Those velocity of the data, right, can actually continuously pipeline, orchestrate, and aggregate on your data lake, and for you to enrich your current existing organization's data set or generate by your day-to-day operations. And last but not least, the external data set can also give you a leg up on your competition. So you could be a pioneer and a pilot kind of this industry player when you are actually leveraging on the external data set. And one more thing, yeah, this is a very key important thing, is more and more data uploaded to the web. And right now we are not only talking about beta, terabyte, it is increasing every day. So all these external data set, right, if you are able to make use of it and gain those actionable insight on it, it could be extremely value. Bring all those brand value to your organizations by leveraging it to do analytics or AI. And give a little bit of a background on what is NLP that we talked about. And NLP is actually a natural language processing, whereby the common application of using it is like a speech to text, text to speech, or text processing. All this is actually a pre-built algorithm whereby you just need to make the training on top of it and leverage it to be your own customized model to work for you. Yeah, it is extremely easy to use the AWS AI ecosystem to do all that stuff, like training, deploying the model, and let it run smoothly on your organizations. Comparison on why today we talk about running on AWS instead of running on prem is I'm running on prem, you might need to purchase a new hardware, you have a performance concern, you have time consuming. But on AWS, right, you just pay for the execution time that you run for those NLP analysis that you're doing, and you don't need to take care of all those architecture because all will be managed under AWS. And most importantly, right, you do not need to equip with a data scientist kind of the background and experience, because with AWS there is a lot of pre-built model, right? You can actually leverage on it and make the enhancement on top of it, let it bring value to your organization or help you to overcome some business challenge that you're facing today. And one of the service and one of AI service I'm going to introduce today is Comprehend. Comprehend is one of the key service that from AWS side, right, to do the natural language processing. And this is also one of the service that Amazon.com using today. We know Amazon.com is a leader of e-commerce, right? So they are actually using this sort of Comprehend to study the sentiment from the customer that visit their website. And the best thing about it is, you can treat it like a software as a service. So you do not require any machine learning experience within your ETL script like Glue, AWS Glue, right? You can integrate with Comprehend easily, like call the API, feed in the text and get back, how many, what is the sentiment about those sentences? Is it positive, is it negative, or it is neutral? So some of the solution and use case that I'm going to share with you on, this is one of the top Hong Kong-based investment manager focused kind of the ETF, right? And they are actually driving this sort of data-driven approach. They are our regular customer and they have a different phase with us. And right now they are actually using AI services to, study some sentiment from all the sentiments from the investor in the world to let their ETF subscriber better understanding what is the current strategy, investment strategy, and when there is a bad sentiment coming to a certain stocks or certain equity, right? What will be the reaction plan? So the challenges is there is an explosion of the online data. There's too much of data, and all these passive kind of the ETF, right? They have under this sort of the outflow, and they need to adopt more and more innovative technologies to attract more investors to put their money into the ETF they are managed. Okay, so the expectation and the value they are expecting is they want to boost up those comprehensive analysis efficiently by leveraging on the AI ML, yeah, and also study some of the social media sentiment to let them better understanding, among all the investors, right, what is actually their sentiment, how many percent of it, and what kind of the strategy when there is a bad sentiment about certain stocks, and what am I going to do about it? Yeah. So in a nutshell, it is not a black box. So basically, external data from the social media, right, you actually pass through certain process of cleansing, and after the cleansing, the data will be continuously aggregated in the data lake. Okay, and then we are actually leveraging on Comprehend and some of the algorithm in SageMaker, right, to do a key phrases extraction, to do a sentiments analysis, or certain to add the automated tagging to a certain financial product. We call it custom classifications. So leverage on this sort of solution and what will benefit on it is straightforward. So those solutions that we will develop, that we architect, right? This infrastructure is extremely easy to be maintained. There is no very high kind of the maintenance overhead, right? So this sort of ML environment, they can actually run their AI or ML use case on top of it and do the experimentation on it. So basically do all those exploratory data analysis, right? And then move on to do the multi-level classification, A/B testing, and all the way roll out to the productions. And what will be the benefit to the organization and to this funds organization is actually they improve their offering to the investor, and actually, it's not based on some people experience, because people tend to make mistakes, right? But through the ML, right, it provides more concrete kind of and more solid kind of the judgment on, why I should do that. And I actually have a proof, this is the output from the ML, and that's why I actually make this sort of investment in this amount, right? And then leverage accuracy of AI ML, that it can continuously to innovate, continuously to improve the accuracy by using a predictive models, improve all those fundamental investing decisions. Yeah, and on top of it, then leveraging on the open data set, you actually expand the data sources like user reviews, comments, and this is actually one of the top-notch kind of in the industry by leveraging all those external data set. Leveraging, because after all, it is an investor, right? So investor opinion is extremely important. So take all those into account and use leverage on that to make decision is extremely important and bring a lot of value to the investment firm. Yeah. So the other use case I'm going to share with you, successful use case that EcoValley have done is one of the digital entertainment product provider in Singapore. Okay, so before we came in, they actually having a data silos issue. Okay, those are sentiment, comments, feedbacks, support ticket. It's actually in everywhere. Some software as a service, some satellite systems, some downstream application, ERP, CRM, right? And then they have a high cost to understand the insight and get the feedback to understand, you know, on their next generation of products, what kind of the room, when you know what kind of improvement they should make, you know, to improve the new generation of the products. So what they need, right, after we have all this kind of the discussion, we understand they need to have a single source of truth, a centralized data platform whereby they can store all the feedback and review from all different downstream application, or, you know, all different software as a service, social media per se, right? So they after they have this fundamental data platform, a data lake, right? So they can actually make those sentiment analytics on it, right? Capture the correct and important key phrases and analyze the customer sentiments. And on top of it, definitely some value and benefit bring to the production line, bring to the engineering team, bring to the R&D is through those sentiment analytics. We know how the consumer, how the customer think about your products. Okay, so what they think is they think that, you know, your gadget is too big, you should make it smaller. The battery life is too short, you should make it longer. All this sentiment is a very crucial input for the R&D to improve their product. They, through this kind of analysis, right, they will know that, you know, what kind of the features is a customer most looking forward, and through this sort of input, that improve their output, improve their quality of the product to attract more and more customers to buy their product in the future. Yeah, so the expectation of them is actually through this kind of a database insight to understand those formulation and make the correct marketing strategies, like I mentioned just now. They want to improve their branding, get overview perspective on the different branding in different region, different countries. They want to know how, you know, those consumers think about their products. And this is actually a minimum viable project. We know that this is something not very complicated, but it can bring impact to the organization. So we use this sort of minimum viable projects, right, as a fundamental for these digital entertainment product company to kickstart their data and AI ML journey as a stepping stone to, you know, future in that project. And this is in the high level, right? We gather the feedbacks from the e-commerce website, from their supporting system. Through the machine learning, we capture the important key phrases and we store it for the sentiment analysis. Then on top of it, not only some feedbacks on the product improvements, we also can understand that which batch of the product in what production did having most issues. So maybe during the manufacturing time, or, you know, in the different material that they are using, right, could potentially affect the quality of the products. So through this sort of a backward analysis, then they can understand, you know, in the future how they can improve their production line. Okay, on, you know, they should buy what kind of a material to manufacture their products. Yeah. So in a nutshell, the solution and benefits is, you know, through this sentiment analysis, they gain to understand, like, you know, what would be the actionable insight and the relationship between different texts. Okay, this customer mentioned I actually quite relate with those, so we use those count, right, and build a fantastic war in the business intelligence tools. And then they actually come out, you know, hydrate their own data lake as a single source of truth to store their customer feedback. Previously, they actually having this sort of data silos issue. The data is in everywhere, but now after they have hydrate their data, single source of truth, right, they can actually leverage on all these to, you know, do a lot of fantastic AI ML use cases on top of the data lake. And then actually leverage on the Amazon QuickSight. This is a business intelligence tools on AWS. They actually leverage it to perform and, you know, visualize the data in their business intelligence tools. In a nutshell, you know, the benefit and value they bring into the company is they can have a quick overview of the overall product feedbacks and comments, and they can actually study the massive amount of feedbacks, comments in the relatively short time. Yeah, through the distributed system processed by the AWS architecture. So this is some of the sample that we have done for them. As you can see different sentiment distribute into different products. okay, and then in what date, right, to that having the most negative product. So from there, we can working backward to understand maybe there is certain batch of product having a production issue or in having some quality issue, then they can actually make some adjustment and make some improvement on top of it. And you can see over the rate of the positivity on the branding, how many total sentiment they got from different website, and what will be a top 3 products, having the positive sentiments. Yeah. So this is some example of the Word Cloud. Okay, Word Cloud, this is actually using the NLP, the comprehend that I mentioned just now. We capture the key phrases and also capture the sentiment, so that we use a top 100 negative key phrases as a Word Cloud to represent. So when engineering team or product team want to understand what customer mentioned the most to their products, right, they can use this sort of dashboarding to better understand what customer think about their products, and what kind of improvement they should make, and prioritize those changes and upgrade of their products. Yeah. So on the next sections, right, I would like to have one of these manager from a top investment firm to share a bit on his experience on using the AI ML in AWS. Let's welcome Jonathan to the call. Hi, Jonathan. Hello.
Hey, Clavester.
Hey, hi.
Hey, thanks for having me. Can you see me?
Thanks for joining us, on this call. So I would like to take this opportunity, right, to understand from you on, what is, and let you to briefly describe to us what kind of the use case that you are using today, and what kind of AWS service help you to achieve those use cases.
Yeah, so thanks for having me again. So I'm Jonathan from Aspects Management. I help run the engineering and data platform here, and we are an investment management firm based in Hong Kong. We use fundamental research to do equity investing, and we've always really believed in the power of big data and alternative data, and it's a space that's quickly evolving not just in Asia, but also very mature in the US as well. So I think from being able to use all this data, especially for social media data, we really relied on AWS from the very beginning, because all of this public data we have to collect numbers in the terabytes, and that's really the amount of data that we have to store. We look at data across hundreds of unique data sets, and really it was only practical and really realistic to go with AWS from the onset.
Nice. Thanks, Jonathan, for sharing us. And we know that you have a big supporter of AWS, and a lot of your workload are currently on AWS. Can you share with us why you choose AWS as top provider for overall, no matter it's a data analytics or AI ML? Why you put all this workload on AWS, and what is the reason behind it? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So I mean, obviously AWS is one of the most mature cloud service providers out there, right? In terms of public cloud, it really focuses on security, which we really take very seriously. But it also has the largest ecosystem of services and offerings. And if we want to do something like a data lake and a data warehouse and integrate it with visualizations and do all of this and scale out, then really, we really didn't look elsewhere to do this. AWS makes it quite easy to spin up a data lake and then deploy it, and then really bring a bunch of tools such as Glue or EMR to do serverless big data processing. So I think really in terms of just scale, uptime, cost, right? It's not practical for us to go buy out these physical servers and storage, right? So just all in all, it was a no-brainer basically from the beginning. And then I would just add to that also, right? Since we started using AWS 2 years ago, it's already released several new features. So I think the pace of innovation at AWS is quite fast, right? So we've got to use new tools such as S3 storage lens, new encoding that reduces our cost and improves the performance. So I think it's quite rare for a cloud to really care about the customers that much, and I think a lot of our feedback goes directly into the new products that they roll out.
I see. Sounds great. Sounds great. Thanks for sharing with us on this. And then right now we understand you're starting to, you have started to embark your AI ML journey, and you have some use cases starting to leveraging on the AWS ecosystem. Could you share with us, what you have done so far, and how's the overall experience of you doing the AI ML on AWS?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, everyone knows that social media data is not a new thing, right? And then as an investment manager, right, we're also really paying attention to all the public social media data that's being generated, and because it can quickly signal shifting consumer sentiment and new and upcoming trends. So I think it's something that, especially even us in Asia, we have to really take a close look at. So you can think of your blogs and your news, such as your Reddit, your Twitters, your financial news articles, right? Those are really the types of things that we want to analyze. But everyone knows that unstructured data has been really hard to process, right? It takes a huge amount of storage to store. You have to clean it. You have to do a bunch of tokenization, tagging, and a lot of these text kind of pre-processing in order to even utilize it. So I think it was basically we wanted to use AWS SageMaker to really make this process more efficient and make it so that we can iterate quickly and really surface the insights in the natural language, right? So for us, we were looking at, if to be very specific, right, we look at what kind of stocks people are talking about, what kind of companies people are mentioning on these social media sites and platforms, and then with SageMaker, and also we also use AWS Comprehend. We really gave ourselves a benchmark to kind of see what's the baseline kind of sentiment that people are talking about. What are the most popular mentioned companies, and is there a broad trend? Is there a broad shift in trend, right? Are people preferring growth stocks over value, or vice versa, or are people preferring certain narratives or certain regions of right in baskets? So I think this is quite interesting and really we really chose SageMaker to really do this iteratively, and so that we can also build our own NLP models, whether it be built with LSTM models or well-known kind of a lexicon-based sentiment models. Really, I think we chose SageMaker because it can help us compare and really make these NLP tasks quite more efficient.
Nice. Awesome. So the last question, Jonathan, out of curiosity, right, on all these new projects, new AI ML use cases that you have done, is it generate a lot of, additional workload to you, or, creating a lot of new maintenance overhead to you, because you're from IT, right? And, from AWS perspective and from eCloud Valley, how does, all these workload that have been handled, and what kind of the role that eCloud Valley play in your digital roadmap?
Yeah, sure. So obviously you have to retrain the model, right? So from time to time to keep improving it. It doesn't get better by itself. So again, it's not practical for us to go buy GPUs and go buy the physical infrastructure to do this. So doing it on AWS really is the fastest and most cost efficient way. We did some quick numbers on the TCO before, and really basically we would be able to reduce it up to 65% using SageMaker, and our training would go from days to hours, right? So and it's only going to get bigger, right? The scale of the data and the variety of the unstructured text data is only going to get more. So so it's really just much more efficient and much more cost efficient, right, for us to build things on AWS, right? And eCloud Valley really was a partner for us since the really beginning, right? I mean, even before we started doing the NLP, right, just with the data lake and with knowledge of the security and with the pace that AWS rolls out new features, right, we really needed someone like eCloud Valley to help us really bridge the gap and understand what are the best tools that's available in our region of AWS that can help us get to what we want fastest and cost efficiently, right? So I mean, it's been fortunate to have a really good partnership with eCloud Valley, and you guys have good expertise, really great deep understanding of the analytics, the machine learning, and the security on AWS. And it's helped us really try out these new platforms and services on AWS much more quickly. So personally, for myself, it helped me a lot, right? Focus more on the data data analytics and helping support my internal team, right?
Be a problem solver, right? Yeah. Okay, fantastic. Jonathan, I really appreciate your help to be here and then share with you your overall experience. Thank you so much. So I will move on to my presentation. Thank you, Jonathan. Yep. So on the next part, right, I'm going to introduce with you on our new consulting program. So what we know, right? So company tend to having difficulties when they want to start their data journey or start their AI ML journey. They might not very familiar with all these data science thing, artificial intelligence. They do not know how they can start with cloud. They do not know what will be the best practices to leverage on cloud, to harness the cloud to do more. And potentially they do not have a data scientist in-house, but they know, what kind of the business goal they want to achieve, what kind of the business problem they want to solve, right? But they do not have those data scientists to start with. So today's, right, we're gonna introduce you our very own services. We call it Sparkle. So this is an advisory on data and data and AI ML advisory service that we can offer to you guys. So basically, what is Sparkle that could potentially bring to you is after leveraging on our best practices and harness cloud, right, harness on AWS, you can expect that you can having a very good in terms of a cost optimization. A lot of customers that enjoy these sort of services, right, we provide our thoughts and our consultation service. They actually save more than 40% of the overall costing monthly. Okay, and then performance grows, so we know exactly like what kind of the data set is required, what kind of the data that can enrich your data set. So we can provide those thoughts and we can share those knowledge with you, and you can expect performance growth on your overall data processing or AI/ML workload on AWS. And most importantly, if you do not have expertise in-house, right, so we can provide you the step-by-step kind of the consultancy, and we can help you to implement on behalf of you, and then we can help you also take care of those models that you have deployed on AWS. And what you can enjoy from business perspective is you can fast time to leverage on data to continuously innovate, on top of it. And this is some of our offering in the details level, deep dive of it. I'm not gonna walk through one by one of it, but there is a monthly subscription kind of advisory service for each Sparkle, and also there will be the on-demand kind of the professional services that can offer from EclaValley as well. So this is how the thing works on the end-to-end consulting and professional service, right? In the phase 1, we will sit down together to do a discovery section, understand and what will be your KPI, what kind of a success that you want to make. And then in the phase 2, we can sit down together to understand, what kind of professional services, or, you can leverage your in-house staff to do those implementations. But, we were actually using this Sparkle program to walk you along from end to end all the way to your use case to operationalize on your organizations. Okay, and then this is some business outcome in a nutshell. So there's a lot of use case that can be done. For example, data lake, predictive maintenance, sales forecasting, or fraud detection, and etc. So if you guys are interested, so go ahead to scan this barcode, okay, to understand more, like what this kind of advisory service can potentially bring value to your organizations. And feel free to scan the barcode to understand more from the EclaValley side. Okay, so here come to end of my presentation. Again, we are EclaValley. We have a different office and in the different countries, right? Especially in Southeast Asia. So just feel free to approach us if you have any further question, and we will be glad to answer all of your questions. And we also, like what I have mentioned previously, we are premium consulting partner. We have different competency in different professional services like machine learning and also data and analytics. So here come to end of my presentation. Before I end of my sections, right, I will pass my time back to AWS. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating in this section.
Thank you, Cleverster, and that was very insightful. Organizations across industries, including manufacturing and healthcare, have a large number of documents, including handwritten, that requires processing large volumes of documents that require processing. And processing large volumes of documents is very time intensive, complex, and expensive, and often require human overhead. With Amazon TextRack, customers are able to extract data from digital forms and handwritten documents to perform tasks like process loan applications, analyze customer sentiment, determine patient treatment, or filter out non-compliant purchases from invoices. Customers can process millions of pages in hours, uncover valuable insights, and implement human reviews with intelligent document processing. And to illustrate this, I would like to invite Haley Law, data architect from X-Ray. X-Ray is an AWS advanced consulting partner, and Haley will share a customer story from Malaysia on how they're using AWS Analytics and AI document understanding solutions that combines the power of computer vision and natural language processing to reimagine manufacturing operations. By automating low-value tasks and enabling data-driven decisions that improve efficiency at scale. Please welcome Haley Law.
Thank you, Abhi, for inviting us today. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's session where I'm going to talk about intelligent document processing and share a little about how data-driven manufacturing is made a reality through AWS. I'm Haley, and I am an AWS Certified Data Architect at X-Rail. X-Rail is an AWS Advanced Consulting Partner, which has helped many customers realize their business outcome using AWS services. Our team has served customers from a wide range of industries, such as entertainment, property, development, retail, manufacturing, and e-commerce. Today, I'm going to talk about the need to automate document processing and the challenges to make it happen. Then, we will cover how Amazon TextRack comes into play as a solution to extract information and how X-Rail Smart Eyes solve the difficulties of extracting insights from documents, especially in manufacturing by digitizing document processing. Lastly, one of our clients, Likai, who is an executive director at QL, will be joining me here today to share about their manufacturing data journey using machine learning. We all know that document is a very important tool for record keeping, collaboration, communication, and transactions across industries. This includes financial, manufacturing, legal, and retail. Data volume are increasing exponentially, and this data is becoming increasingly valuable for businesses. According to Gartner, organizations worldwide has recorded a 25% growth in usage of paper each year. However, data automation is often tricky and met with challenges, especially in the data extraction phase, because a huge chunk of data required are often hidden in scanned documents, forms, and even handwritten comments. This creates a bottleneck in data analysis and day-to-day operations. So there's a huge opportunity in implementing intelligent document processing, as it allows information contained in documents to be turned into a machine-readable format and integrated into existing process. The adoption of intelligent document processing not only helps business improve operational efficiency, but also streamline business processes. Consider an organization, for example, that receives hundreds of different documents each day from multiple sources like email, fax, and post, and in different formats such as PDFs, images, or even physically handwritten forms. These documents have to be categorized and the data extracted and processed before being filed and sent to the next operation workflow. More often than not, the data extraction process is carried out manually, which is not only time-consuming, expensive, laborious, but also prone to human errors. Some organizations might then opt to use robotic process automation, RPA, which is readily available in the market. However, rules-based RPA tools does not work well with tables and forms, as well as handwritten documents. With intelligent document processing operations can be automated to mitigate operational inefficiency and reduce the lag between data intake and data availability. These challenges span across multiple industries. A few of the industries facing these at scale are banking, manufacturing, legal, and human resources. Many banks' processes still utilizes paper-based bank forms, customer-centric forms for applications of new accounts, mortgages, and loans are just the tip of the iceberg for banking industry. There are also intra-bank forms for expenses and audit compliance. With the automation of document processing, banks can improve the accuracy and speed while significantly reduce human error. In addition, we have manufacturing industry, where documents are integral to processes such as shipping, distribution, financial accounting, and communication with the supply chain. On most occasions, digitizing document processing through the installation of digital devices throughout the factory floor just does not justify the cost and return of investment. For this use case in particular, we have the opportunity to invite one of our clients who will be joining us today to share a little more about their data journey. Let us proceed with the legal industry. The legal industry is also not exempted since paper forms pose a problem for them. Many documents such as affidavits, witness statements, and statement of claim are required to be converted into digital formats, and firms relying on traditional manual filing methods would be exposed to human error. Human resources is another industry facing this challenge at scale. Human resource department in every company is invariably under pressure to complete payroll, hiring, employee onboarding, and other highly manual processes which have a high dependency on paper documents. With an integrated intelligent document processing system, business can focus their efforts on analyzing and making better decisions instead of paper shuffling. A data lake is a new and increasingly popular way to store and analyze data because it allows companies to manage multiple data types from a wide variety of sources and store this data, whether it's structured or unstructured, in a centralized repository. It's suitable for businesses that require a data storage and analytics solution. A data lake offers more agility and flexibility than a traditional data management systems. AWS provides many of the building blocks required to help customers implement a secure, flexible, and cost-effective data lake for a data-driven transformation. These include AWS managed services that help extract, ingest, store, transform, and analyze both structured and unstructured data. The first step of intelligent data processing is to extract from documents. This is where Amazon Textract comes into the picture as a solution to extract information. Amazon Textract is a fully managed machine learning service that automatically extracts text from documents. Some of the key benefits of Amazon Textract is that it reduces the manual effort for any kind of template development as it uses machine learning under the hood. Secondly, it's able to detect printed text and handwriting, not only from documents, but also from tables and forms. It also supports multiple file formats, such as PDF, JPEG, Excel, and PNG. Now, let me introduce you to Xreal Smart Eye, which is built and powered by Amazon Textract. Xreal Smart Eye is a tool that can digitize all types of documents, including PDF, JPEG, Excel, and PNG. It not only has the capability to extract printed text, but also handwriting. It supports a tracker role through the use of an admin portal and also supports exception handling. The Smart Eye intelligent document processing solution can be broken down into 3 simple steps. First is the data extraction phase. In this step, files of different formats such as PDFs, Excel, and JPEG are sent to a centralized location to extract the text from the documents. Then we have the data validation phase. During this stage, any data that is flagged as an exception can be reviewed by a human checker, and all extracted data can also be verified by the checker to check for discrepancy. In parallel, while checkers are validating the data, documents can be submitted to be processed seamlessly. The last step is data consumption. After extraction and validation of data, the information will be streamlined to the next business process in the form of a dashboard or another subsystem through API integration. We decided to build Xreal Smart Eye because we have noticed that there is a gap in the market when it comes to digitizing documents, especially hard copy documents. Many businesses are still manually processing a large volume of data daily. Let's talk about bills, for example. We have observed that some businesses hire operators solely to enter data manually into an Excel spreadsheet. It could be worse if the data are stored in different silos. Data might need to be downloaded from a system just to be consolidated in an Excel to generate a monthly business report. These organizations might be reluctant to automate the extraction of documents because the high cost of investment to fully digitize the data process might not just justify the return of investment. These led us to develop Xreal Smart Eye as a sensible solution that completes the missing link for a full data digitization, since it is not only scalable, but also allow different types of document formats to be scanned and processed. Now, let me show you a brief demo of Xreal Smart Eye. Over here, we have a dashboard that we use to track wastage. Now, let me show you a portal where we use to check and track the documents being sent to Xreal Smart Eye. The first step is to send an email with the document which you would like the information extracted attached to a specified email address. After the email is sent, the document will be processed in the back end. As you can see, this document is sent out on the 10th of March. The information will then be loaded and can be viewed from the admin portal. Let us wait for a few seconds here for the document to be processed and uploaded to the admin portal. You can now see that the document status is under pending. At the left, we have a view of the document. And at the right, we can see that the information are extracted. For example, the shift night, which is selected, is being extracted correctly. The date, which is handwritten, 2nd of February 2020. And also the date issued, 17th of February 2020. In printed text are also extracted correctly on the right. If we look at the Table tab, we can view the information from the table inside the scanned document. For example, cheesy garlic bread. You can see on the right that 1 piece of cheesy garlic bread is rejected. 2 pieces of cheesy garlic bread are categorized under excess, and 3 are expired. To the right, there is also a handwritten remark test, and this is also captured by the table. So during this reviewing phase, we can make edits on the information extracted in case there are anomalies. Before clicking on save, after saving, we can see that the status is changed to completed, and we cannot make further changes to information extracted from documents. Now, if we look back into the document, the information cannot be edited any longer. Now, let us head back to the dashboard. As you can see from the KPI showing at the top, the reject waste is currently 200.1 kg, and the excess waste is 209 kg. So after refreshing the data, the KPIs figure should reflect the new data extracted from the documents. So let us proceed to refresh. So now you can see that the reject waste has been updated to 239.1 kg, whereas the excess waste is updated. Let me hand it over to Lee Kai now to share about QL's manufacturing data journey using machine learning.
Thank you, Haley, for having me here. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to share with you our data journey. I'm Lee Kai, the Executive Director of QL Resources. QL is a consumer food agriculture company in ASEAN with an annual turnover of USD $1 billion. QL is listed on the Bursa Malaysia and a member of the MSCI Global Indexes. Our businesses covers consumer food, marine products, manufacturing, livestock farming, retail, and also palm and clean technology. When we started the journey 2 years ago, we had multiple challenges like multiple data sources that are siloed, data which are on non-digital form, and unstructured like printed and handwritten documents. These challenges increased the lead time for data collection and was stopping us from making decisions based on data. We have a large amount of handwritten documents that's generated daily in our factories. where it is challenging to ubiquitously install digital capturing devices. We started the journey with XRail and AWS using a working backwards approach recommended by XRail to start defining business dashboards needed and work backward to identify the required data sources before we define the data processing required. This approach allows us to define a minimum viable product in a very short period of time. During the processing, we adopt Data Lake Accelerator provided by XRail that runs on AWS to remove the heavy lifting needed in a common data processing and ingestion. It enables us to capture data from various sources, such as structured data from databases and unstructured data from images, social media, and IoT. Subsequently, we go through the data processing to produce useful output for our dashboards. With Amazon Textract, we're able to digitize documents for both printed and handwritten hard copy forms that we generate on the production floor daily, especially in production areas where digital capturing tools are not available or not economical. This is a sensible solution and completes the missing link for full digitalization of our production data. The outcome that we have achieved is important for our data journey. We reduce the lead time for making data-driven decisions from months down to a day. Automated data ingestion using Amazon Textract allows us to reduce labor and human error. This sets a foundation for us as we embark on our data journey. Thank you, and hand it back to you, Haley.
Thank you, Lee Kai, for sharing. If we look beyond, intelligent document processing is only one of the many use cases. Transforming text in a document into data is extremely critical, but understanding the context, relationships, and intent of the extracted data is what drives the actual benefits of automation. Businesses should first identify the outcome they want to achieve. Either it is to visualize data better through a business dashboard, or to leverage on machine learning for advanced analytics, such as predictive analytics. Then we look back at what kind of data sources are required to achieve the desired outcome, and whether an ingestion from different silos are required. For example, streaming in data from social media, existing ERP system, processing handwritten documents, so on and so forth, before the setup of the data analytics architecture in AWS. Now, let us explore how we can house the data analytics architecture on AWS. The first step to achieve the desired results, whether it's for data visualization, personalization, or demand forecasting, is to harness and combine all the data sources available into a centralized repository. S3 has been used for a long time as a centralized repository, whether it be to store streaming transactions, videos, or images. Companies like Georgia Pacific, Cisco, and Nasdaq are avid users of AWS S3. From there, we can tap on the available building blocks in AWS, such as Glue or data transformation before being aggregated and pushed into Redshift, or tapped on AWS pre-trained AI services, such as Amazon Textract, Amazon Comprehend, Amazon Forecast, and many more to build AI-powered applications without any machine learning expertise. For a custom AI solution, SageMaker can be used to train, build, and deploy high-quality machine learning models. These processed and aggregate data can then be used for visualization or some advanced analytics such as personalization and demand forecasting. At XRail, we have readily available solutions to extract and ingest data, whether it be a handwritten document or data from social media. which allow us to help business accelerate or jumpstart their data-driven transformation. To summarize, it is quite evident that using a centralized data lake approach to effectively house and manage multiple data sources can greatly streamline data collection and analysis. So start a proof of concept with us today to validate your data, and you will be able to test your outcome in less than 6 weeks. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed this session today. I'll hand it over to Abi now. Thank you.
Thank you, Haley. It was a great session, and I hope our audience and customers have really got some great insights from that. The next one that I want to talk about is companies today use everything from simple spreadsheets to complex financial planning software to attempt to accurately forecast future business outcomes, such as product demand, resource needs, or financial performance. These tools build forecasts based on historical data and trends. However, they struggle to take irregular past trends into account, especially the data series that can change over time, such as price, web traffic, number of employees. With Amazon Forecast, which is a fully managed service that uses machine learning to deliver highly accurate forecasts, customers can accurately predict demand forecasting and streamline supply-demand decisions by decision-making by combining historical time series with additional variables such as products, features, pricing, and holidays. It's the same technology used by Amazon.com to forecast key metrics. And to share details on this use case, I would like to invite Emil Capino from InfoAlchemy. Emil is the president and CEO of InfoAlchemy, an AWS Select Consulting partner, and they have built a SaaS solution called Foresight using Amazon Forecast. Emil will share a customer story for one of the largest bake shop chains in the Philippines, with more than 800 branches nationwide, who is envisioning to transform their manual forecasting process with Amazon Web AI services powered by Forecast. Over to you, Emil.
Thank you, Abby and AWS, for inviting us to be part of this webinar. It's my pleasure to share with you today how we leverage Amazon Forecast in helping our customers transform their sales and inventory forecasting process. Hello, everyone. This is Emil from InfoAlchemy. We are an AWS managed partner for data analytics and machine learning. For today's presentation, I'll start with a brief company introduction, and then I'll share with you our solution roadmap for data analytics, followed by our use case scenario to introduce our customer, who will be talking about why they chose Amazon Forecast for their sales and inventory forecasting requirement. And then I'll share with you our reference architecture for our solution, followed by our key takeaways and call to action. So let's get started. InfoAlchemy is a consulting and outsourcing company based out of the Philippines. We specialize in data and analytics, and we have been in the industry for the last 20 years, where we have implemented hundreds of successful projects around data warehousing, business intelligence, master data management, big data, and advanced analytics. Let me now share with you our solution roadmap for data analytics. We developed this roadmap on the AWS platform to help our customers accelerate their digital transformation. This roadmap consists of 4 phases: consolidate, forecast, automate, and engage. In the consolidate phase, this is where we help our customers build a data lake in a data warehouse on the AWS platform using Amazon Lake Formation. This data lake and data warehouse, or what we call Lake House, serves as a foundation for data analytics for our customers. In the forecast phase, this is where we help our customers generate more accurate forecasts for demand planning and inventory analytics. In this phase, we leverage machine learning algorithms from AWS using Amazon Forecast. In the automate phase, we help our customers do away with manual processing of their documents. In this phase, we leverage computer vision to extract text from various documents using Amazon Textract. Lastly, in the engage phase, we help improve customer engagement and response rates via data-driven messaging across multi-channels using Amazon Pinpoint. Let me now share with you some of the use cases and solution offerings that we have developed following this roadmap. For the consolidate phase, we have a package solution for POS analytics, which consists of a data lake, a data warehouse, and pre-built dashboards. This package solution helps our retail customers easily implement POS analytics based on best practices. For the forecast phase, we have a SaaS application called Foresight, which helps our customers easily implement forecasting use cases such as sales and inventory forecasting, as well as demand and supply planning. For the automate phase, we have developed a SaaS application called ClearSight, which accelerates the implementation of document processing automation for our customers. This application allows our customers easily implement use cases such as invoice matching, application verification, and ID validation. For the engage phase, we have a SaaS application called ClearSight, which allows our customers easily implement use cases such as after-sales email campaign, customer onboarding messaging, and customer inquiry auto-response. So let's go back to the main topic, which is Amazon Forecast. I'm sure you are aware of the business case behind forecasting, specifically the impact of over and under forecasting. Over forecasting often results to excess inventory, tied up capital, and increased storage space requirements, while under forecasting results to potential loss in revenue from stockout scenarios and dissatisfied customers. Here are some of the use cases that we have come across with based on actual customer requirements. Some of the common use cases are sales and inventory forecasting, as well as demand forecasting for supply, cooking, and labor demand. So I hope that gives you a general idea on how we leverage AWS machine learning in helping our customers accelerate their digital transformation. Let me now introduce one of our key customers who will share with us how they decided on using Amazon Forecast for their sales and inventory forecasting. Let me now call on our special guest and one of our key customers in the Philippines. Please welcome Robert San Juan, the Chief Transformation and Technology Officer from Goldilocks Bake Shop. Over to you, Robert.
Hello to everyone who's attending this webinar. And I'm here to talk about our company, Goldilocks. I'll start with our customer profile. Goldilocks Bake Shop started in 1966 by two sisters and a sister-in-law. And as of 2019, it is now one of the largest bake shop retail and distribution manufacturing companies in the Philippines. As you can see here on the slide on the right side, we have 870 stores of our bake shops and food shops. And we've recently acquired a new retail chain, which is Brownies Unlimited, which has 40 stores. And we also run we're also a partner of Domino's Pizza in the Philippines. So all in all, we have more than 900 stores, and we manufacture from 13 manufacturing plants nationwide. And And with Goldilocks, we carry more than 200 cakes and pastry and bread products for the bake shop business. And we have at least 70 products for our food shop business. So food shop is sort of our restaurant or fast food model of the store. And we have this vision set in our last strategic planning, which we call Vision 2025. And with this vision, we'd like to double our business in 5 years. Right? Let me start with sharing with you our forecasting challenges in the company. We're coming from an environment with 5 legacy POS systems. Reason behind that, because in the past, the business was operating regionally, and each region was independent of the others. That's why we got to this situation where we have 5 legacy POS systems. And even for the ERP and accounting systems, there are multiple systems. And we are soon moving to an integrated POS system and a single ERP, which is SAP S/4HANA. Forecasting in our company today takes several days and actually requires inputs by finance, who happen to do also forecasting using manual Excel sheets. And the stores, whenever they are sending their weekly forecast, demand forecast to the plants on a weekly basis, the plants had to validate this forecast. And normally there's a 3 to 4 times correction before it is finalized. And then the plants on a monthly basis, they also generate their own supply forecasts. And finance will do our target setting, which is also used by our store operations as their guide for doing the weekly forecast. So as I said, this takes several days to be done. And one challenge that we have is for our store operations, we're not able to do future advanced forecasting. Like if we want to forecast 2 months in advance, no, we can only do they can only do it on a weekly basis because it's manual and decentralized. So when we looked into the problem and we came up with this solution, which I can share with you. First of all, we need to be able to improve our environment for our IT computing. So we decided to unify our POS system into a single system. This will also include the store inventory system. And soon we will also go live with a single ERP, which is SAP S/4HANA. And to support that with the right infrastructure, we are migrating our on-premise infrastructure to the cloud in AWS. And as a result, we have this opportunity to transform our data platform from islands of disconnected data to a single data lake and data warehouse. And to facilitate the implementation, we decided to adopt an agile approach to develop the new forecasting platform using Amazon Forecast. And we had to select and find a capable AWS partner who can do this for us. And lastly, to sustain the future development and operations of this capability, we will embark on an organizational transformation to develop internal new skills in this new technology. We actually went through a selection process to choose our platform for forecasting, and would like to share with you 5 points why we decided to go for Amazon Forecast. Number one, we like the capability for seamless integration. If we use the data lake in AWS S3, it's very natural for Amazon Forecast to pick up data coming from our data lake. Amazon Forecast is also is easy to use because it can automatically load and inspect data. It can do auto selection of the right algorithms if you're not very much into selecting your own algorithm, training a model. It can provide accuracy metrics. It can even fill in the gaps of in your historical POS data, and all the way to generating the forecast. With the outcome, it's also easy to integrate the outcome with other systems outside of Amazon. So we plan to integrate this with our store replenishment system so we can auto-generate the store orders. And we can also integrate the outcome to our SAP MRP as an input to our supply planning and production. We also like the attribute to speed, the speed to deploy. In fact, our data lake project just started with InfoAlchemy in January 2021 this year, and we expect to see the improved forecasting outcomes by April next month. We also see the opportunity to learn the new platform as we deploy. So we had the help of InfoAlchemy to do all of this for us for now, but at the same time, they are doing a knowledge transfer so we can build our own internal new skills. And our journey moving forward is to be able to deploy this forecasting platform nationwide in all our stores and all our plants. And as a subsequent process that we want to build and capability, we want to build the end-to-end sales and operations planning, of course, with Amazon Forecast providing the demand forecast. We will continue to develop our internal talents because we know that the platform is very powerful and we'd like to maximize its features moving into the future. Of course, with the help of InfoAlchemy, the AWS partner, and also with AWS. And since we're just starting on this, we have not really maximized the power of machine learning in Amazon Forecast. So we will continue to explore that and continue to train the models. And hopefully this, with the help of this forecasting platform, it will help us drive our 2x 5Y, which is double the business in 5 years, Vision 2025, with the help of increased accuracy and speed in our forecasting, which is very important to the model of our business. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. I'm sure our audience appreciate what you have shared, particularly on why you chose Amazon Forecast for your sales and inventory forecasting. We are honored to be part of your digital transformation journey at Goldilocks. To summarize our customer challenges, Goldilocks currently do manual forecasting at the store level. Here are the key challenges faced by Goldilocks. Manual forecasting is done at the store level, which requires validation by their finance department at the head office. This means that each of their stores manually submit weekly rolling forecasts, which are then used as input to their production planning. This process requires manual checking and validation by finance, which leads to longer turnaround time to finalize the forecast. Imagine having to manually check the forecast submitted by each store, which requires some changes and back and forth before it can be finalized. So let's dive deeper into our use case scenario. Our solution for Goldilocks is to centralize the forecasting process and automate it using Amazon Forecast. Instead of manually forecasting at the store level, the plan is to automatically generate each store forecast in the cloud, where we can leverage the machine learning algorithms from AWS. Using Goldilocks historical transactional data, we can generate more accurate forecasts using the built-in algorithms in Amazon Forecast. To further improve the forecast accuracy, we can include related time series data as well as relevant metadata such as inventory levels, spoilage, delivery lead times, and product promotions, and so on. By transforming Goldilocks forecasting process, we expect the solution to lower their overall inventory costs as well as help increase their revenues by avoiding out-of-stock scenarios. Let me now share with you our reference architecture for the solution. Starting with our data sources, we have point-of-sale transactional data, inventory data, as well as other data sets for our related time series and relevant metadata. These data sources will then be ingested into Amazon S3, which will serve as our data lake storage. We will then use Amazon Glue Data Brew to process our raw data and to prepare each data set prior to feeding into Amazon Forecast. For data exploration, we will use Amazon Athena, and for data warehouse, we will use Amazon Redshift, which will contain all the forecast results generated by Amazon Forecast. These forecast results can be visualized using Amazon QuickSight or via our Foresight application user interface. I hope this reference architecture will give you an idea on how easy it is to implement a store sales and inventory forecasting process using Amazon Forecast. Leveraging the same reference architecture, let me now share with you some of the pilot projects that we were able to implement. For our battery manufacturing customer, we saw a 35% improvement in forecast accuracy, which will help them improve their sales forecasting and demand planning use case. And for our chicken restaurant customer, we achieved a 27% improvement in forecast accuracy, which will help them improve their auto-replenishment of inventory. And lastly, for our Japanese restaurant customer, we are working on a planned pilot to help them with their cook plan demand and recommendation using Amazon Forecast. To wrap up our presentation, let me now share with you our key takeaways from the Goldilocks use case scenario. Amazon Forecast is a fully managed AI service from AWS, which you can use to leverage the built-in machine learning algorithms to help you achieve up to 50% improvement in your forecast accuracy. Finally, you can leverage Amazon Forecast for various use cases for demand and supply planning to simplify your forecasting process and to generate cost savings. Before we end the presentation, allow me to thank all of you for attending the webinar. On behalf of Goldilocks, we hope that you learned a lot from our use case presentation, and we look forward to your questions during the Q&A. It's a great honor to be an AWS Select Partner for data analytics and machine learning. Or if you need help in implementing any of the phases in our data analytics roadmap, we can certainly help you explore and develop a custom SaaS application to suit your requirements. Finally, as a call to action, I encourage you to book your free discovery and assessment session by indicating your interest in the feedback form. During the discovery session, we will help you identify several use cases for Amazon Forecast. We will also help you with a free proof of concept to help you justify your business case for selected use cases. Again, this is Emil Capino of InfoAlchemy. Thank you.
Thank you, Amal and Robert, for sharing your journey. I'm sure some of you are now thinking, how do I kickstart our journey on machine learning? We at AWS can help you at every step. The first step is to establish a solid data strategy. As we discussed, a good data strategy is the foundation for transformation and innovation through technologies like analytics and machine learning. Next is to understand your company's business challenges so we can identify the right use case to address your needs. What are you trying to solve by using machine learning? AWS has a number of programs, including our robust partner network, to work with you in every step of the way. AWS partners have deep expertise in leveraging AWS analytics and machine learning to come up with an optimized architecture for your business requirements. Please reach out to them or to us if you need any help. With that, thank you for joining us today. I hope you found today's partner session insightful, including their customer use case, how they are leveraging AWS analytics and machine learning platform to drive outcomes and moving their business forward. And finally, please do submit your feedback in the survey you'll receive after the session. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav, and our guest speakers. Just a gentle reminder for everyone listening in, if you have any questions regarding the workshop or any offerings from the partners, please drop your question in the question box. Our team will be online and we'll continue to address them for the next few minutes. With that, I would like to wrap up today's session and make a few announcements on where you can go from here. First up, you can visit the AWS AI and Machine Learning Resource Hub and learn how to use AI and machine learning to accelerate your machine learning journey. And the workshop materials will also be made available on the hub for future consumption. We will notify you via email once the assets are ready for you to access. Besides that, there are also some additional training materials which you can check out with regards to how you can continue honing your machine learning skills. So there are digital training courses, classroom trainings, and certifications for specialized machine learning roles. And you can visit the links you see on screen. You can also access the 2 slides in the handout section of the control panel, where you will have access to the links readily available. So this brings us to the end of today's session. A survey will pop up when you leave the webinar. We seek your kind help to complete the survey so that you can let us know what you think, how we can improve the event experience in future. We hope the session has been useful, and thank you again for attending, and we appreciate any feedback that you can provide us.